You can see that these birds are very good at perching. They've got feet that are specially designed for hanging on to branches or in this case, the water line. And it's very important that hens are able to get up off the ground. Remember that their ancestors were jungle fowl. And at night in the jungle, it's very important for the birds to be able to perch high up in the trees to be safe from predators. And these hens still show this same tendency. They're still very good at perching. When hens are sleeping, they like to roost. They like to hold on to a branch or a bar and crouch down. One of the reasons why it's important that chickens recognize each other is because they have a social order. They have a peck order. And some of the birds are dominant and some of the birds are subordinate. And they recognize, if they recognize another one that is subordinate, they will try to peck it. And if they see a dominant bird approaching, they will move away. One of the great things about this barn is that the birds can change level. There are lots of different levels. And so if a subordinate bird gets attacked by a dominant bird, they can avoid that by jumping up. So these birds have jumped up onto this perch. They may be avoiding an attack from a dominant bird down lower down. I've told you about how hens use the little oil gland in their back to spread oil over their feathers to make the feathers waterproof. But what happens is through time, the oil goes stale. So they need to get rid of that oil. And the way they get rid of the oil, the stale oil, is by dust bathing. And there are some hens over here. What they do is that they crouch down and scratch at the feathers, and they quite often do it together. It's a very vigorous movement, and they scratch dust into the feathers. And the stale oil sticks onto the particles of dust. And that at the end of it, when they've been doing that for about 20 minutes, they stand up and shake the dust, shake it all out of their feathers, and that takes the stale oil away. And then they have to start again, using the oil gland to put fresh oil onto the feathers.